If you found out your new girlfriend was the willing daughter of a cult leader who'd been dosing her with hemotoxic agents as part of their arcane rituals, what would you do? In this How to Beat video, I'm gonna break down the mistakes James made, what you should do, and how to beat the Order in Return to Silent Hill. I'll preface this by saying that I haven't played any of the Silent Hill games and know nothing. That said, I've heard this movie adaptation changes a few things from the game. Guess we'll find out. We start out following a dude driving his Mustang nasty through the canyons. His spinout wrecks some chick's luggage on the side of the road. It's a certified meet cute. The bus driver can't wait more than 10 seconds for them to stuff the clothes back in and takes off. Seriously, what is this? A hot extract? You'd think this was Mogadishu the way the bus driver's trying to barrel through the rest stop. Sorry, Mary's not a Navy SEAL. Jesus Christ, bus drivers at busy airports have more chill. The man's name is James, and the woman's name is Mary. James offers to take Mary back home down into town. The town named Silent Hill. Before they could fire the Stang back up, a dark cloud rolls in overhead. Some months later, it seems life hasn't been good for James. He's at the bottom of multiple bottles, getting thrown into alley trash by bouncers and ignoring his therapist. At home, he finds a letter from Mary begging him to come back to our place. Something's happened. I need you. So the boozed out James hops back into his Stang and drives down to the bus stop where they first met. When he wakes up the next morning, he hikes down to the water's edge next to the church that they once frolicked in, hoping to find Mary there. What he finds is a sickly, mysterious woman named Angela shoring up the cemetery with sandbags. She tells him the falling ash is due to a fire in the suburbs. Right. She tells James that if he cannot find who he's looking for, he can always come back and find her. Silent Hill has become a deserted, twisted, unearthly hellscape from the beautiful town saturated with color it once was. Thick layer of ash covers everything. Why did Mary want him to come back to this place? There, he stumbles into a crazy homeless man trying to warn him of something.
Spare some change?
Before he gets distracted by the neon sign of the once esteemed establishment named Heaven's Night. The homeless man should have stayed home in his little cave, wrapped in his trash camo. James hears the homeless man screams and rushes over in time to find his smoking corpse liquefying, a molten ooze, meat dripping off his bones, yet still gurgling as if he's barely alive. Nerds. Cravings aren't just about nicotine, they're about the loop, the habit, the hand-to-mouth oral fixation. When you try to quit, you're not just removing a substance, you're ripping out a ritual. That's when the cravings hit. The fix isn't just willpower, it's replacement. Don't try to quit cold turkey, upgrade your habit loop with Fume. Fume's flavored air device is engineered to replace the habit itself, to be an alternative to smoking and vaping. No nicotine, no vapor, no batteries, just a solid, weighted, twistable device that gives your hands something to fidget with, and your mouth something else to do when the urge shows up. For me, this wasn't even about vaping. I had this automatic reflex where anytime I wanted a little zizz, I'd grab a soda. Not because I was thirsty, but because I was bored and wanted flavor. Something interesting besides plain water. With Fume, I'll say I heavily reduced the habit so far. If I want something sweet, I reach for the raspberry flavor. If I want my mouth feeling refreshed, I'll load in crisp mint, which is a nice option besides chewing gum, which goes dull after 10 minutes. And it's definitely easier on the teeth than pounding soda. If you're ready to break the habit, now's a great time to try Fume. Grab a journey pack and use code NERDEXPLAINS to get a free Fume topper. The topper adds a soft, replaceable, chewable mouthpiece, so when cravings hit, your mouth has something to chew on. Head to tryfume.com and use code NERDEXPLAINS to claim your free Fume topper with your journey pack. Alright, it's pretty clear James is suffering after the loss of his sick wife, Mary. The note would be confusing and inciting, but it is time to leave this place and leave Mary behind. Take your staying down to Big Sur and find some surfer chick who digs your art and dark demeanor. Too late. James whips around, cornered by the faceless monster too. It's a spitter. Thankfully, he's quick on the slip, grabbing a conveniently placed metal rod and chucking it into the lying figure's head. It's enough to send the creature scurrying down a manhole into the sewer system. He picks up the radio to listen to a military broadcast stating the obvious. Everyone needs to get the hell out of Silent Hill now. That's when the sirens kick on, and James becomes hopelessly surrounded by more acid spitters. The once ashy town transforms into a reddened hellscape. James dodges, ducks, dips, dives, and dodges his way through the hordes, only to get swarmed by floods of giant roach bugs with big mouths. Oh good, they're killing each other. Thank God. He finds a sturdy door to lock himself behind. Unfortunately for his sanity, it's a glass door. His journey to find Mary and piece this shattered memory back together takes him to their old apartment, where he has another flashback. This time, a weird spiritual gathering around Mary, complete with a creepy candlelit shrine to her deceased father. She tells him, "James, please, I want this to be about you and me, always." Then dump his ashes in the river. Get a little heart locket with an actual picture of him. Kinda hard to feel like it's just you and me when the decrepit statue of your dad's dead face is staring into my soul all day. And why does his head open? Sorry, the closet doors are not cutting it. Not trying to be rude here, but damn girl. There's daddy issues, and then there's whatever the f this is. You might consider actually telling him what's going on if you value your relationship at all. I know it's challenging, but maybe lead with this one. Nobody wants to waste their time dating someone who doesn't share a vision for your future. You can leave some questions unanswered as you grow together, but not if it entails a satanic sacrificial ritual. Back in the underworld of Silent Hill, James meets another survivor who has clearly been drinking too much of the municipal tap water. They both hear a baby down the hall and follow its cries. Oh, it's just a young girl holding a very dead-looking baby. Her name is Laura. Before they can pull her through the steel bars, Pyramid Head arrives to f their day up even more. James escapes around the corner and, oh, come on, give me a break.
Mary?
Bro, this is an absolute nightmare. Soccer kick it away, goddamn. Great, now it's a spider thing. I don't know how James is keeping it together and surviving empty-handed in here. He's horribly hungover too. Hopefully Spider-Woman and Pyramid Man kill each other while he hides in a closet. That's what he's been reduced to. Oh hell yeah. If only James could hold his girly whimpering in. Now Pyramid Head is gonna shish kebab you with a spider leg. Literally all you had to do was stay silent. Luckily, James is saved by the bell. I guess the siren flips the town back to reality. The woman from the cemetery is here too now. She tells James that nothing he does will be enough to save her. Okay, ominous, conveniently placed, unreliable narrator meant to serve as a challenge for our hero. James's journey takes him chasing the Laura girl into a maze, where he bumps into a rather healthy-looking married doppelganger named Maria. How James isn't connecting that they're identical twins, I don't know. But she offers to tag along with him to the hospital, which is where he thinks that Mary will be. Again, why does he believe this? I don't know. Something about his flashbacks is driving him to the next likely location. Whatever he's doing, he'd better move quickly, because if that siren starts blaring again, he is toast. He only narrowly, by the skin of his teeth, survived the first round. There, they find a recorder on the table and hit play. It's about Mary. The doctor says, "Patient admitted at noon after collapsing in the street. On admission, she presented with severe anemia, high-grade fever, and significant subconjunctival and nasal hemorrhaging. Initial blood work revealed critically low platelet levels, likely due to exposure to an unidentified substance. Fever since resolved. Patient remained stable, but physically weakened." Miss Crane, this drug that they've been giving you all these years. Mary.
It made me feel whole. It made me feel part of them.
Doctor. It's caused permanent damage to your body. The tape induces another flashback. Mary was the guest of honor in an arcane cult ritual, where she was given a drug that caused profuse orificial bleeding. The cult lapped it all up. Tell you what, Mary was into some crazy shit. You gotta be vetting these chicks better, man. Back when they were first hooking up in the tulip field, Mary had very vaguely insinuated that she had a dark side, and she wasn't sure if they should move in together. James was all like, "It's cool. I totally love you no matter what freaky stuff you're into." To be fair, they were just making out. He was probably high, and he was thinking with his little head. Probably thinking she was referring to a different kind of arcane ritual, with less hemotoxic drugs involved. What a underrepresentative way to spring this on your new BF. Getting primal in the woods, warm glow of the sun on your skin, the smell of fresh flowers. Boyfriend's been puffing on dank. It's hot, it's heavy. She puts her hand on his chest. Wait, there's parts of me you haven't seen. What if who I am scares you? Oh baby, you're not gonna scare me, I promise. Okay, guess that wraps up that conversation. I know that's not totally accurate, but come on. In no way have you properly elucidated the weird, sinister, life-endangering baggage you'd be moving in with. Mary's a bit scummy for this one, wrapping James up in an emotionally distressing web of deceit and death. Uh-oh, I don't think the hospital staff's gonna be too helpful. Dozens of bubblehead nurses attack, cornering James and Maria in the defunct elevator. Trapped, James starts swinging his pipe around, busting their heads open surprisingly easily. These nurses suck. Oh, dude, one got past you. How did Maria survive the whole time? I don't even think she attempted to block that shank. The elevator finally powers on. Once the door is shut, James takes a look at Maria's stab wound. Ooh, bet she's feeling awfully sleepy. Hate to say it, but she's gonna be dead unless you pull off a miracle surgery within 60 seconds in this shithole. Using video game logic, James slaps a bandage on her wound, which instantly heals all internal hemorrhaging. And with that, he tells her he'll be right back. He's just gonna pop around and see if Mary's here. Like, James, you heard the doctor's tapes. You witnessed the flashback. Mary is super dead. If you were empty-handed right now, maybe you could justify one last peek. But you've got her identical, slightly more gothic, probably less baggage twin begging you to leave with her. If that ain't life giving you lemons. And you're gonna pick that parting gift away so you can roll the dice on whether you get liquefied by a spitter, eaten alive by giant bugs, hacked to death by nurse mannequins, or some worse fate that you haven't even been confronted with yet. Idiot. Sorry, Maria. James is not coming back. Outside, he chases Laura into the toxicology room where Mary was held. Well, he finds what he thinks is Mary, I guess. Remember what I said about that worse fate that he hadn't seen yet? I don't think that's Mary. While its fist is crammed down James's throat, he has another flashback. One where he had broken up with Mary and all her weird goon followers over her cult sacrificial rituals, after which Mary became horribly, terminally ill. It's about this time that James realizes he's quite effed in the head for Mary's passing, and this whole nightmare, all these monsters, it's just in his head. Ah, god it. This is all James beating himself up over taking the high road. Fed up with his own figments, he has Maria killed by the Pyramid Head. Oh, and Pyramid Head is actually James. I know this is your fantasy and Maria's a figment of your imagination, but that was still a dick move. Angela, Laura, the baby, all figments, all personas derived from Mary's full name, Mary Angela Laura Crane. His visions take him back to the Lakeview Hotel, where the dying Mary asked him for a mercy kill to end her suffering, which he obliged, strangling her to death with his bare hands. Dude, really? Go get some H and feed it into her IV drip. Snag some painkillers from the nurse's cabinet and have her swallow the whole bottle. You bare hand choked her to death while crying and staring into her eyes as the life faded. No wonder you have horrible PTSD. You chose the most visceral, brutal way to end your lover's life. Well, this takes him back to the underworld, where her deathbed levitates in the sky, transforming her into a giant moth woman. The moth transition leaves him back at the Lakeview Hotel, kneeling beside Mary's blanketed body. His inner monologue covers the emotional music. That day, I should have died with you. You forgave me, but I could never forgive myself. I was so selfish, Mare. Selfish and scared. James, she willingly volunteered to be a sacrificial lamb. Her dad and the cult had been drugging her for years, messing with her since she was a child. She had no intention of stopping, only demanding that you be understanding, as if that would be possible. In their fight, she even called the cult her family, a family who had taken her in after her father died. None of this is your fault. Even if you bonked her over the head with an empty beer bottle, swooped her into your Stang and drove to Tahiti, she'd hate you, resent you, and be going right back to Silent Hill to doom herself anyways. Well, he stows her into the back of the Stang and drives off the pier. I'm ready now. No matter what it takes, no matter where it takes us, this time I won't let go. He exhales to drown himself alongside her. Waking up after nearly hitting the logging truck, Mary's luggage strewn across the road, reliving their first encounter. Confused, hopeful, relieved, he helps her get her stuff together, and this time drives her the other way out of town to leave the sick cult drugging her behind. Is this the afterlife? A second chance to change the course of past events? Or another hallucination of a drowning dead man? Or was that J that he was smoking at the beginning packed with peyote?
Man, I gotta lay off the peyote.
That's what I'm going with. Bro saw their whole life and death together ahead of time. Damn. Ultimately, the solution was always to get Mary away from the cult and rid her of the deep, dark baggage that her father had burdened her with her entire life. Easier said than done, but if he wanted to be with her, the moment that he found out was likely the pivotal moment for whether that she lived or died. See, by the time James had met her, Mary looked healthy on a superficial level. Maybe she got sick or bruised easily and had random nosebleeds. But based on this, it's likely that she wasn't irreversibly doomed yet. The damage to her platelets, bone marrow, liver, etc. might have been at least partially reversible if she immediately received treatment. Once he left and she resumed the rituals, ingesting whatever the cult gave her, it was over for her. With the multiple endings, I don't know whether to say that this was beaten or unbeaten. Given it sure feels like he's swimming with the fishies right now due to his immense guilt from leaving, I'd say this one was unbeaten. Moral of the story: if a woman you're starting to date says, "There are parts of me that you haven't seen yet. What if who I am scares you?" Ask questions. Do not just say, "It won't, I promise." Because she could be a demon moth cult leader taking drugs so her followers can lap up the blood coming out of her eyes. Thanks to Fume for sponsoring this video.